Some more breaking news now coming in this hour. SEBI has made a major declaration in the hearing on the Adani case. SEBI has said probe closed in 22 of 24 angles. This is certainly a big development coming in the Adani case, which is of course being heard in the Supreme Court. So the SEBI making a major declaration there in this hearing on the Adani case. SEBI has given an update saying that probe has been closed in 22 of the 24 angles being investigated. Rishabh Gulati, editor-in-chief of NewsX, is joining us for more details on this story. Rishabh, big developments transpiring in the Supreme Court. Take us through the latest.
Yeah, the consequences, Uday, of what is going to take place is very, very important. Remember, the Supreme Court, SEBI had appeared before the Supreme Court and asked for more time. They had said, look, these are financial matters. This is regarding international transactions. We require more time to investigate it. We are investigating the various companies. Remember, all of this transpired at the time in the public when the Hindenburg report came out. And the Hindenburg report made allegations. This is a organization working out of the United States, which is known for taking short-selling positions, came out and did a hit job on the Adani Group. They said that, look, there's round-tripping of money going on to inflate valuations at the Adani Group, and they said the group company valuations should actually be at a much lower level. Now, the SEBI was already conducting an investigation into some of the transactions. This was before the Hindenburg report came out. After the Hindenburg report came out and the matter came before the Supreme Court, the SEBI has now had several months to go through this. The big development so far, as this case is still ongoing in the Supreme Court, we're expecting the court to resume the hearing sometime after lunch in an hour or so. But the big development, Uday, right now is that the SEBI says they will not be seeking an extension from the Supreme Court, which means their investigation prima facie is complete in the existing angles of the probe. The SG has come out and told the Supreme Court that on 22 out of the 24 probes that they were conducting into various angles of the round-tripping allegations into offshore entities and all are now concluded. Just 2 are remaining. They're not going to seek more time. So far, before the arguments that are being made before the court, there seems to be no indication thus far of SEBI prima facie finding problems or making criminal allegations against any of the Adani entities so far. Now, this is telling because the SEBI, in its initial report of the expert committee that had come out, which we had discussed here a few weeks ago, the expert committee had also not found illegality. They had said that the Adani Group, as per as the law and regulations and rules of the land, had followed all the declarations required as per their ownership transactions were concerned. They did make future recommendations on how to more streamline the process, how to increase transparency, how to increase accountability. But those are recommendations for a future course of regulatory action in terms of rules and regulation changes. There was no allegation at that point of time of any kind of wrongdoing outside the law and outside the rules and regulations. So far in the hearing, for the people and the promoters of the Adani Group, so far is looking good. If the SEBI says we have closed almost the entire ambit of the investigation, if in the opening arguments they have made no allegations, no charges, the only reference, in fact, is being made to the short selling, which the Supreme Court has asked the SEBI particularly on what action they're going to take on the short sellers, if indeed that has happened. And the SEBI says they will take action according to the rules of the land if they find short selling has taken place that is violative of the existing regulations. Now, this is going to continue in the Supreme Court, but in the indication that now seems to be set in the tone and tenor of where this is going, we'll have to wait, of course, till the observations of the Supreme Court and whatever rulings or guidance that the Supreme Court has to offer. We don't know which of it will be, whether they'll leave it at observations, whether it will be a ruling to implement, asking the central government or SEBI to urgently implement the recommendations of the expert panel. But in any of this, the bottom line seems to be that they have not found anything illegal on this front. That then, Uday, means that if the Adani Group were not doing anything illegal according to Indian rules, regulations and laws, this would be indicative that Hindenburg came out to seek a profit motive from targeting the Indian stock markets and one of the biggest set of stocks which the Adani entities represent, to drive down the prices so that they could profit from their own offshore entities in short selling here. Now, the previous report that came out indicated suspicious transactions in great detail that took place in the period when the report came out and the week afterwards when the Adani stocks were being hit. Now, the bottom line, Uday, is retail investors in Adani stocks, due to this hit job, lost money. Now, the stocks, many of them have recovered, some have not. A lot of buyback have taken place, and the Adani group is moving on. The stock market itself was not destabilized. Subsequently, you heard George Soros speaking on this publicly. He let it slip, a Freudian slip that took place, indicating how deep this could have gone. So what is evident is that if retail investors lost money due to a short-selling hit job by a foreign entity, what accountability is being done to those foreign entities who are conducting an ambush on the Indian stock markets? Now, subsequently, you've seen a lot of developments even in Parliament regarding what was happening in terms of collusion on questions being raised on the Adani group. You've seen a lot of conversation in political circles on this matter. So larger and larger, it almost looks like that there was a cabal, a conspiratorial group that was operating with malicious intent, several conflicts of interest over here. For some, it would have been a pure profit motive. For others, it could have been an international tactical motive. For others, it could have even been a political motive. We don't know, but somebody's going to have to investigate this. So far, if for the Adani Group promoters, it's looking good. We've not heard any negative comments from the SEBI before the Supreme Court thus far, Uday.
All right, Rishabh, stay with us. In fact, Ashish Sinha is also joining us now. Ashish, big declaration by SEBI, obviously perhaps setting the tone and tenor for, what lies ahead in this case. But today, I think the hearing set to resume at 2 p.m. What are we expecting in court?
Yeah, of course, that hearing will resume at 2 p.m. I think if you will go through the 15-minute hearing which took place before lunch, I think it's a breather part of Adani as well as investor, because the SEBI today informed that Supreme Court that we are not going to seek any extension to investigate the matter. SEBI had told SG Tushar Mehta, who represents SEBI in the top court of the country, he informed Supreme Court that on the August month, we have filed a detailed status report regarding that, and he informed Supreme Court that out of 24 cases, that the 22 cases the investigation has been completed. For the remaining 2, he also informed that we need information from the foreign regulatories, and we have been in the consult with them, and some information has come, but we are not in the control of time limit for obvious reason. So I think it's a breather for Adani, but yes, hearing will be resumed at 2 p.m. It remains to be seen that how the hearing will take place before the top court of the country, because what Supreme Court wanted to know that how you are going to protect the investor. SEBI has said that yes, we are working on it, because when the Supreme Court had appointed an expert committee, they have given some suggestion that we have SEBI, SG Tushar Mehta, who represents SEBI, he informed Supreme Court that yes, we have gone through that suggestion made by that expert committee, and we are working on it. So it remains to be seen that how the hearing will take place. But yet, of course, if you will go through the hearing which took place before the top court of the country last 15 minutes, I think it's a breather for Adani and investors also.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.